President Trump there at the top of the stairs, Air Force One. Giving his trademark fist bump there at the top of the stairs. Now coming down the stairs, and we expect to see Vladimir Putin at about the same time emerge from the plane there as well. Again, you're watching ABC News live coverage of this historic summit. This is Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska. Vladimir Putin just now emerging from the plane there and coming down the stairs. And again, we have not seen a summit, a meeting of this magnitude on American soil in more than a decade between an American president and Vladimir Putin. And in fact, the West, including the United States and Europe, had not communicated in person with Putin since the invasion of Ukraine more than 3 years ago. That war raging on, the fighting even in the last 24 hours. President Trump has made it very clear what he wants here is an immediate ceasefire. When asked if that's what he will get, the president has been very honest in these last couple of days, saying, "I don't know what I'll get." He gave it a 25% chance of failure, but also said that he believes Vladimir Putin wants to make a deal here, that he wants to negotiate. The president was asked on his way on Air Force One, "You've had a lot of phone calls with Putin, so what's the difference in a face-to-face and an in-person meeting?" The president saying, "No difference. He's a smart guy. He's been doing it for a long time. We get along. There's a good respect level on both sides," that he believes something will come of this. The president waiting there on the red carpet for Vladimir Putin. Applauding there as Vladimir Putin approaches the President of the United States. Of course, we remember the summit between these two leaders during President Trump's first term in Helsinki. They met, and now they meet again right here. The eyes of the world on this moment, particularly because Ukraine, the future of Ukraine, the future of that conflict, the war that has taken so many lives on both sides of the conflict, hangs in the balance here. We have been told that President Trump and Vladimir Putin will meet together. They will each have two high-level aides from their cabinets, their administrations in the room as well. So there'll be 6 people in the room, 3 and 3. Steve Witkoff, and there you see a flyover, the B-2 flyover. That was expected. You can see the F-22s there and some of the cutaways from the cameras lining that red carpet. And there you have it. Obviously, you know what a photo op is, and that's the photo op. Still cameras there greeting these two leaders. That handshake now will be seen around the world, if not on live television, moments later across social media. You can hear the reporters trying